Hey everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of Game Chat. So, in case you don't know what Game Chat is, quick intro. It's just basically a show where we talk about things relating to games. Last episode was about when do games die. This episode is some ideas I had for new operators that they could add eventually to Rainbow Six Siege. So I guess we'll just get started. I'll talk about the operator and their abilities. I apologize if you can hear the snowblower outside. We are snowed in today. No work, no classes, all just we're snowed in. So people are snow blowing and trying to get unsnowed. So let's get started. First off, we'll start with attacking teams. The first operator I have is Ricochet. Ricochet would have the corner shot as his special ability. The corner shot is a mounting rig used in real life to point guns around corners. It utilizes a camera and a pistol. So basically what you do is you put a pistol into this rig and it bends around corners. And on one side there's a little camera and the other side there's a little screen so you can see what's around the corner. It's used by SWAT teams in close quarter situations. This weapon would only be able to be deployed when you are at a corner. Similarly to how you walk up and it says like press right bumper to deploy reinforcements, or when you go up and it says, you know, right bumper to put the entry denial device, anything like that. It would say press right bumper to deploy corner shot. Then what you could do is it would angle around the corner and you would hold it there. Then you'd have to press left trigger and you'd have to go into camera mode in order to use the weapon. It would act just like a pistol because it really is just a pistol inside a mounting rig. And you could shoot people with it. The downside, of course, is that you're only using a pistol and people can overpower you pretty easily. So in order to swap back, you'd have to let go of left trigger, and swapping to your weapon would be the same as swapping from a pistol to an assault rifle, or your primary weapon. So it would be slow, but not super slow. It could be EMP'd if a Thatcher grenade ended up next to you, similarly to how you can EMP your own teammates' Holographic Sights. This could be EMP'd temporarily, but it wouldn't be able to be used at all if it was EMP'd. It would also give off a tiny little red light. Now, the laser sights do something similar, but it wouldn't be to that degree. It wouldn't be super bright. It would just be a tiny little red dot. So, like, if you were scanning a room as a defender, you'd notice just a little red dot out of place. If you shot the corner shot, it would break. It wouldn't damage the operator, but it would destroy the corner shot. So that's on the operator, the player of Ricochet, to know kind of how to use it and when to use it. The next operator is Recon. Recon would have the transformable Bumblebee drone, named so for the sound it makes when it is flying, which kind of gets me to where we start. So what he would do is he would deploy a little quad drone, you know, like one of those little four rotors, and it could fly around. However, this restricts its movement between doors and things. So you could push a button and the rotors would fold underneath it and become little wheels, and then it could drive like under doors and things. When it is in drive mode, car mode we'll call it, it sounds like a drone, moves like a drone, and acts like a drone, and is visible like a drone. Exactly like, you know, one of the little drones in the actual game. It can also not do anything. It can't even spot people. However, if you push the button, it'll jump in the air and transform into flying mode. When it's in flying mode, it makes a humming noise similar to a bumblebee. It is a little larger. It can fly, obviously. And it has the ability to tag enemies. I believe in the game that the tagging, like when you hold Y to tag with a drone, is 10 seconds. This would be able to tag them for 20 seconds, but it would only update their position every 5. So as they moved, the cursor would move every 5 seconds or something like that. He would probably have 2 of these because they'd be pretty easy to destroy. They'd be just as easy to destroy as a drone or a shock drone is. But I think it'd be kind of a cool new level to the game. You know, you can drive around in car mode and verbally talk to your teammates, or you can physically spot them. Next up, we have Optic. Optic has the optic fiber ability. This would allow him to deploy an optic fiber cable. This could be used to snake underneath doors, behind windows, or around corners. The advantages to this over a drone: it is silent, so that you'll never hear like the little drone noise, and it is also undetectable by enemies, so they'll never be able to see it, destroy it, or take it out. However, the optic fiber would not be able to spot anybody. You wouldn't be able to, physically spot them, or if you could, it would be for half the time of a normal spot. Only because it's kind of unfair to be able to be spotted by something you can't see. When deploying underneath doors, he would not have to stand in front of the door. He could stand to the side, and the cable would reach under the door. You'd also be able to move the cable around, forward and back to the length of the cable, and look left and right and move it around a little bit. And now on to the defenders. For the first defender, we have Crash. She has the ability to lay down a bouncing Betty mine, not unsimilar to the Call of Duty ones or the ones used in real life. What this would do is, just like in Call of Duty, you would plant it, and when it detected an enemy walking near it, it would make a sound and jump into the air. It would give you enough time to change your standing position by 1 level. If you are standing when the mine goes off, you die. If you are crouched, you go down, similar to being caught in a bear trap. If you are prone, you do not take any damage from the mine. However, it does make you prone, which leaves you to mobility issues and things like that. She would have probably 3 of these mines. They'd be fairly large, probably about the size of a dinner plate. Maybe a little smaller, maybe like a salad plate. And they would take half a second to arm. She'd have to twist it down and arm it. And they would be fairly easy to spot. They'd have a very light, small, red blinking light. Similar to nitrocells, but not as big. And lastly, we have Trip. She would be able to deploy trip mine sensors. These would look probably similar to the cameras from Battlefield Hardline. They'd probably be about the size of a baseball. And you would place them around the map. What they would do, they would have no lasers, no visual indication of where the trip mine reaches. However, the camera lens would glow green or something if you looked at it, similar to how cameras on the map turn red. Anytime something moved past it, it would make a loud noise, similar to how the metal detectors on the map work, and it would also ping the location of the trip mine sensor to everybody on the defending team. They wouldn't know who walked by it and where they are, but they would know which mine went off. This mine can be placed anywhere. If you place it on the ground, drones can set it off. If you place it on a table, anybody walking by it. So if you place it on a high table and someone crawls underneath it, it won't detect them. It's a very straight shot line from the camera lens to the, the next object or so. It would probably have a length so that people can't place it down corridors, so that someone can't run into it. It would have a distance of, I don't know, maybe 5 meters or so, just enough to lengthen a hallway. But that would be a really cool addition to the game. And that's it. Those are my ideas for some new operators they could add to Rainbow Six Siege. I did also have an idea for an attacker who could place the tremor device onto a wall, and what it would do is it would create kill holes through unbreakable surfaces. Very, very overpowered, but would be kind of cool anyway. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think. Are there any ideas you guys have? And I will see you all next time.